In the headlines, 14 killed in new Plateau attacks as Riom mourns 27 burials. Mana camp IDPs demand resettlement, lament lack of water and services. Flood alerts trigger fears in Bauchi over weak response system. And on the foreign scene, France-Palestine move draws fire from Israel and US. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Thank you so much for joining us. And now we'll begin with Plateau State, where at least 14 villagers and a mobile police officer were killed on Thursday in two separate attacks carried out by gunmen in Bokos local government area of Plateau State. It was gathered that one of the attacks took place around 4 p.m. as the victims, mostly from the Chiran community, were returning from Bokos Market to Mangur village in the locality. The chairman of the committee, Peace Observers in Bokos, Kefas Malai, confirmed the killings in Jos on Thursday night. Malai further revealed that the security personnel had taken over the control of the area to ensure the safety of the community. According to him, the attack came on the heels of another incident earlier in the day where a mobile police officer was killed at his duty post. The police officer was manning a checkpoint along Richa Road in the same Bokos local government before he was killed. The chairman of Bokos local government area, Malau, confirming the attacks, described the situation as an emergency. The spokesman for the Plateau State Police Command, Alabo Alfred, is yet to speak on the attacks. Still in Plateau, where meanwhile 27 victims were killed in a Tahos community of Riom local government area of Plateau State, have been buried on Friday in the area. The victims were buried in a mass ceremony amid tears and anguish. The victims were attacked on 15 July around 4 a.m. when they were sleeping. Many residents of the community were also injured. The state government, through the special envoy on peace and security to Governor Caleb Mufwang, Professor Chris Kwaja, blamed the security forces stationed in the area after the attack for their failure to prevent it. Professor Kwaja last Friday called on the federal government to consider withdrawing soldiers from all flashpoints in the state and replacing them with mobile policemen. And now we move to Rivers State, where at least the government has inaugurated a formal herder committee to address recurring clash between farmers and herders. The secretary to the state government, Ibibia Wurika, who chairs the committee, said the initiative aims to prevent conflict, promote dialogue, and ensure peaceful coexistence. He noted that the committee will identify early warning signs, mediate disputes, and advise on land use, pasture, and water management. Members were drawn from traditional institutions, security agencies, farmers and herders groups, civil society, and relevant ministries. Wurika stressed the need for fairness and diligence in resolving conflicts affecting the state's agricultural productivity and community peace. And now the internally displaced person IDPs at the Mona camp are calling on the government to fulfill its promises of resettling them back to their communities. They said they have been excluded from the resettlement exercise and are living without access to basic amenities such as schools, water, and toilet facilities. Trust TV's Bitrus Kurusi now reports.
Muna Camp, the largest unofficial IDP settlement in Borno State, now resembles an abandoned village. Although the government has successfully resettled thousands displaced by the Boko Haram conflict, many like those in Muna remain behind. Mariam Dahiru, a widow with 12 children, is among the hundreds of IDPs left out of the exercise. She says they were promised resettlement in Mafa local government area, but months have passed with no action.
When
they took orders, they told us they will return the next day to take us back to our village in Dongo. We waited every day until now. No one has come. We sleep outside because there's not enough space, and when it rains, the roof leaks and destroys our belongings. I plan to farm and care for my children once we return.
As they wait, the displaced persons struggle with the deteriorating infrastructure and the absence of essential services.
Matsala na ɗaya gashi yace gwamna zai dauke mu kuma ba mu samu tafiya ba. Wayansu sun tafi wayansu mu ba mu samu tafiya ba.
During the resettlement, they destroyed the boreholes we relied on. The camp had about 300 toilets. Now, none is functional. We are begging the government to fulfill their promise or at least support us to survive.
Gaskiya akwai tsoro. Boko Haram suna zuwa suna doka mutane.
Yes, we are aware of Boko Haram attacks near some communities, but the area we are meant to return to is safe. Many who have gone back have started farming. We just need security. If the government provides it, we'll be happy to return. Mariam, like many others, had hoped to return in time to farm this rainy season, but with time running out and no clear resettlement in sight, those plans are now uncertain. Beatrice Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Now, the presidency has dismissed claims by Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso that the North is being neglected under President Bola Tinubu's administration. In a statement, the special advisor to the president on media and public communication, Sunday Dare, said the administration is executing key infrastructure, agriculture, health, and energy projects across the region. He highlighted the initiative includes the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway, Ajakuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline, and the Kano-Maradi rail line. The presidency also cited healthcare upgrades and agricultural programs in several northern states. The response follows Kwankwaso's remarks during a constitutional dialogue in Kano, where he criticized the allocation of national resources and poor road conditions in the region. Now, the Social Democratic Party, SDP, has elected a new National Executive Committee with Comrade Adamu Abubakar Modibo emerging as the national chairman. He pledged to unify the party and announced plans to establish a disciplinary and reconciliation committee to tackle internal division and promote accountability. The development follows an emergency NEC meeting held in Abuja, signaling a renewed drive for party cohesion and discipline.
Based on the trust given to us by the members of the National Executive Committee of this party. Indeed, it is a great challenge and we are ready for it. As you are aware, the party is in crisis. I believe we are going to do our best to see that we unite this party. All other actions instituted by the former NWC members of the two factions are hereby stepped aside. We are drawing a line. We are going to constitute a newly disciplinary committee and the reconciliation committee to look at the possible ways to reconcile the warring factions and to discipline the culprits.
Now we move to Bauchi, where residents of Galagamayaga in Bauchi local government area are expressing concerns over the preparedness of the Bauchi State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, to handle potential flood disaster following recent warnings issued by the Federal Ministry of Environment. They voiced their worries to Trust TV, citing recurring cases of soil erosion and the dangers of imminent flooding. Trust TV's Adamu Imam has the details.
According to reports, 6 local government areas in Bauchi State have been among the worst affected by flooding in recent years. In Mayaki community, representative acknowledged the state government's effort in constructing a new bridge linking the area to the Bauchi metropolis. However, they raise concerns over persistent soil erosion and the lack of awareness campaign in flood-prone areas. We urgently need government intervention to address the gully erosion threatening our community. Honestly, we do not have the resources to tackle this ourselves. However, we are willing to provide manpower support if the government is ready to engage us. Our community members are ready to cooperate. We are hopeful that even if flooding occurs again, it won't affect us severely, thanks to the new bridge the government is constructing. The water will have a proper channel to flow through and within the community. On our part, we usually advise community members not to dump refuse in gutters or block drainage channels. We continue to encourage a change in attitude towards maintaining a clean and healthy environment to help prevent excessive flooding.
Yeah, as an individual, we need to also make sure that we always cascade such kind of information to other people so that they can make sure that they have that the needful, so that we can, even though disasters are inevitable, we cannot stop it. But I think by this kind of actions in place or measures in place, it will definitely reduce the adverse effect of it.
Meanwhile, aid workers and the Bauchi State Emergency Management Agency said they are fully prepared to respond to flood emergencies following alerts from the Federal Ministry of Environment forecasting severe flooding in many parts of the country.
What we are doing actually, we train our community members how they can prevent in case of any emergency that may occur. So then after, what we do, we make sure we register the affected people in various communities to see the level of the kind of intervention that we are giving to them.
In Azare, we call all the local governments that are there in the northern part of the state, discuss the issues of this flood disaster. What are the causes in the communities? How do they mitigate it on their own part? Then what is the government is going to do for them so that to help them out of this flood disaster? And we identified the upper land. If the flood disaster happens, then we evacuate our people, move to that upper land for safety.
The agency is urging residents to take early warnings seriously and follow safety guidelines issued by relevant authorities as part of efforts to reduce the impact of the anticipated 2025 flood season. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And now, in a bid to address persistent overcrowding in correctional facilities, the federal government has released 4,550 inmates, thereby reducing the national custodial population from over 86,000 to approximately 81,450. The move was part of broader efforts to decongest prisons across Nigeria. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji Ojo announced the development during a meeting in Abuja with the chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Reformatory Institution, Chinedu Oga. The decongestion was contained in a statement by the ministry's Director of Press, Ozoya Imohime. According to Tunji Ojo, the release followed a review process focusing on individuals held for minor or bailable offences, as well as those who had been incarcerated for extended periods without trial. Tunji Ojo reaffirmed the government's commitment to transforming the Nigerian Correctional Service. He stressed that justice and humanity remains at the core of the administration's agenda. Now you're still watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Lagos stakeholders push joint action on climate risks. The summer will return to stay. Welcome back and thank you so much for joining us. In case you missed it, here's a recap of our top stories again. We told you that 14 killed in new Plateau Attack as Rio mourns 27 burials. And when a camp, IDPs demand resettlement, lament lack of water and services. And now we move on to more stories. As efforts to address the challenges posed by the impact of climate change gather momentum, residents of Lagos have called for a position disposition towards issues relating to environment. This, they say, will ensure activities that endangers the climate and pose potential risks to the environment will be avoided. Here's the report.
Environmental degradation and climate change are two of the most pressing challenges facing the world today. These urgent issues demand immediate and collective action. Hence, stakeholders are calling on individuals to become more conscious of their environment, taking personal responsibility for maintaining a clean, healthy, and sustainable ecosystem. According to them, understanding environmental challenges such as rising heat levels, unusual weather patterns, or the increase in flooding caused by irresponsible waste disposal, which are all indicators of deeper environmental issues, is the first step forward in addressing climate change. Insecurity and violent clashes, such as those between herders and farmers, also highlight how climate change can indirectly fuel conflict. As grazing lands dry up due to environmental degradation, herders are forced to move into farmlands in search of pasture, leading to disputes, violence, and further environmental stress.
We need to start to stimulate the ideas around the green economy, which is a function of responsible waste management, being more enlightened about renewable green energy, understanding that solutions can come from science, solutions can come from technology, solutions can come from education and mathematics. Solutions can come from various, aspects of our livelihood, just to provide a bridge within the gaps of some of the things that I have said.
It's important for everyone to live responsibly. You, myself, everybody, the youth, the old, the rich, the poor, we must all live responsibly and understand that, the ozone layers need to be protected, and protecting the ozone layer means that every one of us must be, watch what we do, how we do it, and we must ensure the fact that, we are climate responsible in all our action.
Advise every young person to do is to be conscious of your surroundings, conscious of your environment. I would like to say something. I found out that sometimes we look down on our environment as Nigerians. For example, we have Nigerians that travel abroad and they want to be neat, they want to throw it in the dustbin, they want to segregate their waste, they want to keep their environment clean. But when it comes to their own environment in Nigeria, they're just careless, throwing things around, clogging our drainage, clogging our waste and all that. So I want us to be, first of all, conscious of our environment, cherish our environment, love our environment.
So this plastic is not that is a business as such, but what person will do, what man will do. He cannot come for house, your wife or your pikin is crying for food or this thing. So when you went to outside and pick it and you sell it and make small change to sustain the family, that's why you see me inside it. It's not that I don't know what a man will do, and this thing will keep me busy, that I will not look another thing else that will cost another thing.
These stakeholders emphasize that understanding and combating climate change starts with a collective commitment to sustainability on issues like renewable energy use, composting, and recycling.
Now in business, the Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) is exploring policy frameworks to support emerging technologies such as tokenized assets, digital securities, and green bonds. Director General of the Commission, Emomotimi Agama, made this known during his keynote address at the Commercial Partners H2 2025 Microeconomic Outlook in Lagos, speaking on the theme Reconfiguration from Global Threat to Quantum Innovation, a new economic era emerges. Agama said that the rise of quantum computing artificial intelligence and blockchain technology presents immense opportunity for Nigeria and the African continent. Agama assured that SEC Nigeria is committed to creating a regulatory environment that fosters innovation while maintaining market integrity. And now, away from Nigeria, France is planning to formally recognize a Palestinian state at the United Nations General Assembly in September. President Emmanuel Macron announced on Thursday that the move aims to revive momentum for a two-state solution and encourage other nations to follow suit. France will become the first major Western power to take this step. Meanwhile, the decision has sparked strong opposition. Israel condemned it as a reward for terrorism, while the U.S. called it a setback to peace and accused France of supporting Hamas propaganda. Canada also criticized Israel for worsening the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and reiterated its support for a ceasefire and negotiated two-state solution. Macron's announcement comes ahead of a UN conference on Palestinian statehood and follows months of diplomatic debate. Palestinian officials welcomed the decision as support for their right to self-determination. Now in sport. Nigeria's Eniola Bolaji has advanced to the final of the 2025 British and Irish Para-Badminton International after defeating Australia's Celine Vinot 21-4, 21-8 in the SL3 category. The Paralympic bronze medalists have faced world number 1 Siakuro Kunita of Indonesia in the final. Bolaji, who has already won 3 titles this year, is eyeing her 4th after early victories in Spain and Egypt. Her consistent form continues to strengthen her position as one of Nigeria's top para-athletes. And with that, we have come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to watch and catch us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Thank you for watching.